So I self-tanned last night. Can you tell? I figured today can just be a laid back trying out some new makeup products. So this is going to be a first impressions video of some drugstore makeup. As always, these aren't necessarily like brand new to the store, but they are all new to me. I've never tried any of these products. So if you'd like to see me play around with some new affordable makeup, please keep watching. It's like, I use the Loving Tan and I haven't used it, I don't know, it's been a while. I can't even tell you the last time I used it. Probably like a year, almost a year, somewhere around there. And I feel like when I apply it, I try to apply like less and then I leave it on for 2 hours, you wash it off and then you're like, oh, I'm not even tan. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, this is what I look like. And for some reason, this arm is always darker than this arm. I just don't even know. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, so the first thing I'm going to be trying out, I tried years ago. So I'm going to be retrying it out. This is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. I do remember going through an entire tube of this years ago. This says, shake well before use, enlighten your complexion with a light infusing primer, wear under or mixed with foundation for a soft light illusion. Highlight specific areas of the face to create a sculpted effect. I remember really liking it, so I want to try it again. I feel like nobody talks about this either. There's like so many new things that come out, like everything that was like really good in the past, like nobody talks about. Oh my god. I definitely don't remember it looking like this, so I'm gonna assume... Is it bad? I mean, it smells okay and it feels... What is happening? Oh, if I break out, I break out. When I rubbed it together, it feels how I remember it feeling, but it came out really runny, as you guys could see. So, and I did shake it, so I don't know what that was about. So we're overloading it on the primer today. It still feels nice, even though I think mine is a dud. It still has that nice glow. This is like that Physicians Formula Spotlight Primer or the Becca Backlight Primer. It reminds me a lot of both of those. So I have no idea why mine was so runny. That's like super weird. I know it wasn't runny like that years ago when I used it. It was kind of like a thicker consistency. I'm not gonna put it on. I just want to see if it's still runny. No, it's like separated. You can see it's like oil and then the pigment. So I'm just gonna assume that I got a bad one. That sucks. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some foundation, and I always do like dedicated videos for foundation first impressions because I like to do like wear tests and stuff on those, and I like to use a foundation that I know I like when I try out other makeup products. So I'm not going to be trying a new foundation today. I'm just going to be applying the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is in the shade Sand. So I just realized I probably should have used a drugstore foundation since this is a drugstore makeup products video. So if I would have remembered, I would have used the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour Breathable Foundation. This is the one that I would have used over the Too Faced, and this is in the shade Natural Beige. For concealer, I'm going to be trying out the Milani Retouch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer. So this is in the shade Fair, and it does have like a little spongy tip on it. Doesn't feel as soft as like the Maybelline eraser concealer one, but we're gonna try it out. This might actually be like way too light, but oh well. So I'm just gonna squirt a little bit on the back of my hand. Ooh, this is like a neutral undertone concealer. I can just tell, and those are my favorite, even though when I have like a tan, I can get away with wearing like the yellow kind of like warmer undertones, but this is the one that I picked out today to use. Okay, not a big fan of the sponge applicator. It literally just took all the product that I squeezed out. So in the future, I will not be using this applicator to apply it because I feel like I'm just wasting product. So I'm just going to squeeze it on the back of my hand. It's like a thicker but creamy texture. It reminds me of the Physicians Formula Insta Ready concealer. That's another one of my favorites. And both of those remind me of the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. So far, so good. Minus the applicator, I am liking this concealer. Then I'm just going to use my Wet n Wild sponge to blend that in. I mean, I definitely need a darker shade for when I'm tan or self-tanned, but ooh, this looks full coverage to me too. It looks really nice. Doesn't feel thick or anything. It's blending out really nice. I really like this. This foundation and concealer look really nice together. I don't have any, yes I do. I do. So for a little bit of cream contour and bronzer, I'm going to try out this Maybelline Dream Bronze BB 8-in-1 Beauty Balm Sun-Kissed Glow Perfector. It has an SPF of 25. I have the shade 10 Light Medium Bronze. It says illuminates, warm skin tone, evens, hydrates, smooths, and refreshes. So I plan on using this for my like cream contour bronzer today, and then if that doesn't work, I have another bronzer. But I'm going to be trying this. I haven't heard anybody talk about this. So it is a squeeze tube. Looks like a nice shade too. It's really creamy and it feels lightweight. So when I apply like liquid bronzer, I like to apply it on the back of my hand and like smear it out all over the back of my hand and then pick it up with a sponge and apply it that way. So I'm just going to use my Wet n Wild sponge, dip in there and apply it. It might not show up because I'm so tan and this is in the shade Light Medium. So we might have to go in with the other bronzer that I have. Yeah, this is pretty much the exact same shade as my foundation, but if I wasn't self-tanned in my normal shade, I think it would be really pretty. It looks really pretty even though it's kind of blending in with my skin. But it feels really nice. At this point, I could have just used this for my foundation. But I guess you guys will just have to trust me. It feels really nice and it's a really pretty shade. And like I said, I think it would look really nice on my skin if I was not self-tanned. So I need to see if they have a darker shade of this because I think I really like it. And like I wonder what it would look like as like an all over face product, like if I was to use it like a foundation, because it is the same shade as my foundation. I wonder. So I'm just going to add a little bit of nose contour. I don't have anything new for that, so I'm just using my Wet n Wild contour stick in the shade Oaks on You. So I don't have any new like brow pomade or brow pencils to try out, so I went ahead and filled them in, and I just used my e.l.f. brow cream in the shade Blonde. But I do have this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Brow Razor Highlighter Duo. One side is a matte and the other side is a shimmer. The shimmer side is not super intense, which I actually like. It feels really creamy. And then the matte shade, the matte shade's a little chunky. And you can't really see it, but it's a little chunky, but it seems like it blends out pretty nice. So let's try the matte shade first. This could be a bad idea, but we'll see. I'm just gonna run it underneath. I mean, it is gliding on nice, but I feel like it's chunky. I mean, it glided on really nice. We'll see. I'm just gonna blend in with a brush. So the chunks blend out. So I don't hate this. I just think it's a little weird. It's definitely not a super light shade, so it's giving me more of like a natural carved out brow, which isn't a bad thing either. I guess it just depends on what you're looking for. So now I'm just gonna go over it with the shimmer side, and I don't know if this is in a shade or not. I think this is in the shade Light. So now I'm just gonna go over it with the shimmer side. I'm just gonna focus that kind of like right in the below the arch on my brow. That looks nice. It's like a natural carved out brow. So now I'm just going to set my brows with my Essence Make Me Brow in the shade Blondie Brows. So for powder, I'm going to be trying out this. This is actually new. This is from Makeup Revolution, and this is their loose setting powder. This packaging is really cute. This is in the shade Light Lavender though. I think I heard Jaclyn Hill say something about using a lavender setting powder underneath the eyes, and normally I like pink setting powder underneath my eyes if I'm going to use like a colored one, but she mentioned the Fenty one, and I have the Fenty powder in like cashew maybe, I don't know, it's like a light cream shade, and I wanted to get the lavender one, but if I didn't like it, I didn't want to be stuck spending, you know, like $30 on a loose powder I didn't like. So then I saw that Makeup Revolution came out with a light lavender one, so I figured I would try this one first and see what I thought. I don't know. Never tried a lavender powder before. So this is really nice. You get, I wanted to tell you how many grams you get, but I don't see it. So you open it up and you do get a mirror, and then what's nice, it has like this little cover so that way it doesn't spill over the place, and then just has like an R embossed in it. So you can definitely see, well, I can see, you guys probably can't, there's definitely a tinge of a lavender shade. It's almost like a lavender pinky shade almost, but it's not like extreme. But I do like this packaging. So I'm going to be using this to set my under eyes. I'm not going to use it to set my face. So I'm going to go ahead and run through my under eyes real quick and make sure I don't have any creases, which I don't really, but I like to tap in there just to make sure. And then I'm just going to use the sponge, I guess. I'm going to get some product out. So I feel like I just shook powder everywhere. It's a good thing this was affordable and not the Fenty one, because I just wasted probably like 5 applications worth. I mean, so far so good. So we'll see. I guess I'll just set the other parts of my face that I put concealer. And the powder feels like butter, so that's a good thing. So I'm just gonna let that set on my skin for a little bit while we try out this bronzer. So it's actually I think it's a foundation powder, but I found it at Target on clearance for $5.48. It says full price, it's $10.99. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Finishing Powder. It says up to 16 hours of wear. I have the shade 700 Classic Tan. I have the L'Oreal Pro Glow pressed powder like this, but I've never tried the matte one. This says never caking, never flat, shine control. So you open it up and there's the powder. It's definitely warm toned. And then you have a mirror and a sponge on the other side, but because I'm using this for bronzer, I'm not going to use that little spongy thing. So I don't have a new face powder to set my entire face, so I'm just going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and this is in the shade Medium. This is one of my favorite loose setting powders, but I really like the shade of this for when I have a tan. So now I'm just going to use my Essence Kabuki brush and this powder and apply it. I think it's a really nice powder for bronzer. I feel like it didn't really blend out that nice right here though. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of taking off my foundation. I mean, it looks okay on this side, but I feel like this side it didn't really blend out all that well. Like it's really patchy right here on my cheek, but that could be that primer that was all weird. But it looks really nice on my forehead, on my jaw. Everywhere else I put it, it's just right here looks really patchy. So the more I tried to add or blend out, the worse it's getting on this side. So I don't know what's up with that. I'm just going to apply some loose powder down here to clean up my bronzer contour area. For blush, I'm going to be trying out this Physicians Formula blush. This is in the shade Natural. It's an airbrushing blush, I guess. Sunscreen, SPF of 30 in this blush, so that's cool, I guess. But I really like the shade of this. It just looks like a nice neutral blush shade that will go with any eye look, any makeup look. And then you just flip it up, and then there is a mirror and a little brush that I won't be using. But I like this shade a lot. We'll see if it'll show up though, since I'm so incredibly tan right now. Ooh, it's really powdery. I just put my brush in there. Well, it's showing up. Hopefully it'll cover up this patchiness I got going on. It's really pretty. Like, I could definitely see this being like one of my new favorite blushes. I feel like it looks really good on how tan I am right now, and I think it would look really nice with my like more pale light skin tone as well. Ooh, I like this a lot. It reminds me of the Kylie Cosmetics Winter Kiss blush a little bit. This one's a little bit more rosier, but I don't know, they kind of remind me of each other. So I'm just going to sweep off this nose bake. Looks like there's a little bit of a sheen in this powder. I think next time I won't be baking with this. And it doesn't want to blend out right here. It's just kind of like clinging to my face right there. On here it looks okay. Like on this side it looks okay. But here it just kind of clung to my dry patches. But I do like the shade. I don't think, yeah, I can't bake with it with having dry skin. So keep that in mind. If you want to try this powder out, I wouldn't leave it on like I did. For highlighter, I'm going to be trying out the L'Oreal Crushed Foil Metallic Highlighter. This is what it looks like. It's in the shade 10 Rose Quartz, and I feel like they only had 2 shades of these, and both of them were kind of dark. Like they didn't have like a silvery white one. They had this and like a darker one, I think. Ooh, that's really pretty. It has kind of like a pink peachy reflect in it. I think it would be too dark though for fair skin for sure, and probably light skin. Like I feel like if you wanted to wear this and you were any lighter than me, you would probably have to mix it in with like a lighter highlighter, because I feel like this would just be too dark. But it's really pretty. It doesn't look like it's emphasizing any pores, and it does have like that metallic kind of wet look to it. So this reminds me of the Maybelline highlighters that look like this, the master, what are they called? Master highlighters. Moving on to eyes, I'm going to be trying out this Profusion Naturals 24 shade eyeshadow palette and brush. If you guys have been around for my channel for a while, you know that I love Profusion eyeshadow palettes. I've loved them since I first discovered them like 2 or 3 years ago, and yeah, I still feel the same way. So hopefully this palette is just as good as the other ones that I've tried. And the brush that comes with it actually isn't that bad either. Normally, you know, like the brushes that come with palettes, even high-end palettes aren't that great. But I really like the kind of fluffier side of the brush. The flat side is okay, but I prefer the other side. So I'm first going to go in with the shade called, let's do Silky. It's the shade right here. It's kind of like a cream shade. So the only downside I feel like with these palettes is they're like really bulky, but I really like how the shadows blend, and they're super affordable. There is no mirror, so if you use the mirrors and palettes, you won't be able to use one in here because there isn't one. Now I'm going to go in, I don't know what kind of eye look I'm doing. I'm not going to do anything too crazy because I want to try out this mascara and I don't plan on wearing falsies. So I think I'm going to go in, let's just call it safe and do like a warm look. Plus it'll go with my jammies. So let's do Outgoing is this shade right here for a transition shade. For the price and just in general, these shadows are really nice and they blend out really easy too. This palette was only 10 bucks. And sometimes they go on sale too. I hope they go to like Ulta. Because right now, I usually get my Profusion products either online or Target. And Walmart has like a pretty good selection too, but my Walmart is always picked over. So, plus I feel like this palette would be really good for everyday neutral type looks. That's probably why it's called the Naturals. But there are a few shades in here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of pressed shimmer shades. The rest are mattes. So I feel like this would be a good palette to transition you from like daytime to nighttime. Like you could still get a lot of looks out of this palette. But I feel like this palette would be good for you guys that maybe need a palette that you can wear more like work appropriate makeup, I guess, like more natural looking stuff with like a pop of shimmer on the lid. Or if you just don't like bright colors and this is like your thing, then I think this palette would be good for you. So now I'm just going to pop in a little bit of a darker shade. So I'm going to go in with the shade called Outspoken right here. I'm just going to apply that directly into the crease and a little bit on the lid. This is like a Hershey bar color, like the perfect chocolate brown shade. I might actually flip the brush over, use the flat side, and pick up Outspoken and just apply it where I want it and then buff it out with the other side of the brush. That's a good idea, Brittany. I need to pat myself on the back. I think I just came up with my own eyeshadow technique here. Unless other people do this, but this is the first time I've done this. Normally I just use a fluffy brush and blend, but we're going to try this out today. I never even thought about using a flat eyeshadow brush to apply product and then blend out. Ooh, I need to remember this because this is working really well. Now, I guess that's the darkest brown in the palette, so I'm just going to build this up on the outer portion of my eye, and then I'm just going to put a shimmer on the crease. Did I just say put a shimmer on the crease? I think I meant to say shimmer on the lid. I just want to deepen up my crease a little bit more, so I'm going to go back in with the shade Outgoing, which is what we applied for like a transition shade-ish. So I'm going to put some more of that into my crease. Some of these brown shades remind me of the Too Faced chocolate bar palette. And then back in with the Outspoken shade. And I'm just going to apply some more of that on the lid and in my crease. I really like this palette. I knew I would, but... Ooh, let's pop a little bit of this orange shade into the crease. It's called Fearless. Because why not? Just a little bit. Ooh, pretty, pretty. There's a really pretty, there's a little glitter in it though, but it doesn't look super shimmery. It's called Amour, and it's like this burgundy maroon shade. Maybe we'll put that on the lower lash line. Yeah, let's do that. Well, first I'm going to go in with the transition shade first. So I'm going to go in with Outgoing on the lower lash line first. And now I'm going to go in with that Amour shade. I'm going to add a little bit of Fearless, which is that orange shade. It's kind of in the center. And then a little bit of a more and now I'm going to go in with Outspoken, which is that chocolate brown shade, and just apply this to the outer. Ooh. I like how I said at the beginning I want to do something more natural, and then so on the lid I think I'm just gonna take, there's a shade called Pixie that looks really pretty. It's kind of like a peachy shade, and then there's like a soft gold shade called Excited. I think I'm gonna use Excited and then use Pixie more on the inner part. So that's the shade down here. I'm gonna wet my brush, so I'm just taking the brush that came in the palette in the flat side, use MAC Fix Plus, and I'm just gonna apply this right on the lid. Now I'm just gonna try it with my finger and just apply that right on top. I mean, I feel like it showed up better with my finger than it did with Fix Plus. I'm just gonna add a little bit of Outspoken back to the outer portion of my eye. Now I'm going to take the Pixie shade, which is the shade right next to it. It's kind of like a peachy white gold shade, and I'm going to add that in the inner corner. Oh, what's showing up? Kind of pink actually. It's weird. Showing up more pink gold applied than it did when I swatched it. Oh no, it does have like a pink gold reflect in it. Oh, that's pretty. That's really pretty. I did not know it was gonna look like that. I'm gonna go ahead and stipple this off. It's probably been sitting there for way too long. I'm just gonna quickly set my face, and I'm just gonna use this Morphe spray real quick. So I feel like I've noticed a lot of setting sprays irritate my eyes. Does that happen to you guys? Like, I've been kind of like laying off the setting spray unless I feel like I absolutely need it, and I feel like my skin just was feeling a little tight, so I wanted to apply some. But I noticed when I don't apply it, my eyes don't water as much. So we have 3 things left to try. We're going to try a mascara and then some lip products. So I'm going to be trying out this Essence Get Big Lashes Volume Boost. This is in waterproof. And I usually buy my mascaras in waterproof because ever since I had lash extensions, I know I sound like a broken record at this point, my lashes don't hold a curl. So waterproof mascara really helps my lashes like stay up. So I typically always use a waterproof mascara. So I'm just going to curl my lashes. That wand is massive. It's probably the biggest wand I've ever used. This is a really dry formula, which normally I like, but there's like, I feel like there's like no product coming out. It's like the wand feels dry. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite. Like, my favorite waterproof mascara at the moment is the Maybelline Lash Sensational, which I think would be a good mix with this one. Like, this one does look like it's giving me volume, but it's not really lengthening or separating. So I think if I use this and then use the Maybelline one on top, I think that would be like a really good combo. I feel like everybody always raves about Essence's mascara, and this is the second one I've tried from them. The first one is the Waterproof Lash Princess, and that one I'm just like, so am I just like not buying the right one? Like, I don't know. I feel like this mascara though would be a really good like no makeup day mascara if you wanted something that looked pretty natural. Like, it makes my lashes look nice and fluffy. It's just, I wish they were just a little bit more separated. And this wand is insane. It's like making such a mess. It literally looks like I have eyeliner on now. So yeah, I'm not going to even attempt to use this for my lower lash line because this wand is huge. Okay, what happens if I add some more on the side? Okay, so this is a second coat. Second coat just made them clumpy. I think I like this better one coat. But now I have to make this side even so they can both be clumpy together. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just the wand is huge, and like I said, this is more of like a natural looking mascara to me. Like, I think it would look the best one coat, no makeup days, or if you just want a light layer of mascara. Hopefully I can go in and wipe off the eyeliner it gave me. I'm just gonna apply some lower lash mascara. I'm using this Thrive Cosmetics one. So the last thing I have to try out is for lips, and this is the Makeup Revolution Plumping Lip Gloss. This is the Pout Balm with Vitamin E. This is what it looks like. You guys, if you watched my haul where I swatched this, I died. I bought 2 of them. But this one's in the shade Cookie. So I don't have a new lip liner, so I'm just going to be using Milani Spice lip liner. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait. So it does remind me of like the Fenty Gloss Bombs packaging, not the formula. It feels so silky smooth. It has like a mint scent to it. Not a big fan of the applicator. It's a little too big, but it's so pretty and it feels so good on the lips. And I feel like it's the right amount of pigment. Like, you can build it up like I just did with 2 layers and wear it as like a all over lip color, you know what I mean? Or you could put it 1 layer on top of a lipstick so you don't like kind of alter the shade of your lipstick. But I think this looks so pretty with just lip liner. I do feel like a little bit of a tingle because it is a plumping lip gloss, but it's nothing overwhelming. This is so pretty. So now I'm just going to go over everything we tried out and let you guys know my final thoughts. So since this is already sitting here, this is the Revolution Pout Balm. I love this. You can see it's getting a little bit pouty, but it's nothing overwhelming. It doesn't hurt. It's just like a slight minty tingle, but I love the formula. I love how it feels. I love the shade. I need every single color. Next we have the Maybelline Dream Bronze BB 8-in-1 Beauty Balm. I really like this too, even though I feel like it was the exact same shade as my foundation. I definitely want to try this again in the summertime as like an all over like face cream foundation. Like, I want to try it as a foundation, but it feels really lightweight. I don't know. I just really like it. I like the shade of it and everything. So I'm going to see if they have a darker shade. I'm definitely going to pick that up because I really, really like this. Then we have the L'Oreal Brow Stylist. I like this. The matte side was a little chunky like I told you guys, but the chunks like blended out, which was weird. But I like that it gave me like a natural carved out brow because I'm not one for like the super carved out brows. I just don't think it looks good on my face. Plus I have bangs majority of the time, so there's no point in me putting in all those extra steps just to cover them up with my hair. So then the one thing from this video, I can't really give you like a true first impression, one because I used it a couple years ago, and 2 I feel like I got a dud, but that's the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. I mean, it still worked. I like how I can still kind of see it coming through my foundation. I just got a dud. You saw it was like all separated and stuff, but I did love it 2 years ago, so as long as they didn't change the formula, I feel like I still would like it. Then we have the Essence Get Big Lashes Volume Boost. Would I repurchase this? No. But I will use this up until it's gone or dried out completely. I think it looks really good for like natural full plumping lashes if you want volume like it says, but it's not lengthening or separating or anything like that. So I feel like if I was to wear this with like this kind of look again, like where I have a bunch of eyeshadow on, I would need to mix it with something. But for those no makeup days, or you just want a little bit of oomph, I would suggest trying this out. Next, we have the Milani Retouch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer. I love the concealer. Hate the applicator. I will never use this sponge tip again. It just took all my product away, but I love this concealer. Next, we have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Powder that I used for bronzer. I think it's really pretty as bronzer, minus this side. I don't know what was going on with that, but I really like this for bronzer. It doesn't feel heavy, and it gave me like extra coverage. Obviously probably because it's a foundation powder, but I thought it blended out really nice and it does look really pretty. Then we have my new favorite blush for the moment. That's the Physicians Formula Natural Blush. I love the shade of this. It is so pretty. I think it looks beautiful on my tan skin right now, and I think it would look beautiful on fair and light skin tones as well. Then we have the L'Oreal Crushed Foil Metallic Highlighter. This is in the shade 10 Rose Quartz. I really like this too. I think it's super pretty, but I don't think that it would work for fair light skin tones. I think it'd be too dark. I think you would have to have some kind of like a tan or a darker skin tone for it to look really nice and not leave like a shadow, you know what I'm saying? Then we have the Revolution Pro Light Lavender Loose Setting Powder. I like the shade of this to set my under eyes, but it did cling to my dry patches, so next time I'm just not going to bake with it because I think that's what screwed me up. But I think it looks really nice on my under eyes. It kind of blurred and softened my under eyes. It set my concealer really nice, so I do like this, but I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to buy the Fenty Beauty Light Lavender. I think I'm just going to use this one and call it a day. The last thing I tried out was the Profusion Naturals eyeshadow palette. I love this. I think that any makeup lover would love it. It's 10 bucks. The brush is good. I used the brush the entire tutorial, minus for the lower lash line, but this is so good. I highly recommend trying out any Profusion eyeshadow palettes. They're so bomb. So hope you guys enjoyed watching me play around with some first impressions drugstore makeup. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.